I am interviewing this amazing writer and just a host here at Marvel. I think her name is Lorraine Cink.
Oh boy.
I get to interview
I had a feeling that was
one
coming.
of my favorite people in the whole wide world, ladies and gentlemen.
Aww.
Lorraine Cink is here today to talk about a little bitty project, just tiny, tiny thing you've been working on.
Yeah, thank you, Angélique.
No, I am very excited. You've been working on a book.
I have been working on a book. Thanks for noticing. It's so funny to be here hosting all day and then to have the tables turned on you, but let's do it. Yeah, Powers of a Girl is my new book. It comes out February 5th of this year. It's on pre-order now.
Right now.
And it's through Disney Publishing, and it features 65 fearless female characters, women in the Marvel Universe who punched the sky and changed the game.
I love, that is like my favorite thing when I looked at the cover, and we will reveal some art very soon.
Oh, yeah.
Is that statement, punched the sky.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so incredible because it's, when you say, I don't think a lot of people understand, you said 65 amazing women. And, we're talking about Gwen Stacy, we're talking about She-Hulk. These are really incredible things. So what can people look forward to on the inside of this book?
So,
besides great art and amazing writing.
Well, first of all, I have to talk about the art. Alice X. Zhang, who some of you guys, if you don't follow her online, you should follow her because she does a lot of work. Yep. She does a lot of sort of what I guess you would call fan art from film and TV and different things. But her work is so beautiful, and she illustrated the entire book. The cover, there are tons of gorgeous interiors. The art alone, I think,
Do we want to get the poster out so that you have an example?
Oh, sure. Yeah, that would be great.
So underneath this handy-dandy couch, there are a series of amazing posters in which I will gently unroll.
Yes.
So for those who have not seen the unveiling, this is the amazing artwork.
Yes. So these are some of the portraits that are featured. They have their own sections of the book. All of these different characters: Captain Marvel, the Dora Milaje, Black Widow, Riri Williams, Ironheart, Mantis, Ghost Spider, Valkyrie, America Chavez, and of course Ms. Marvel. Plus so many more characters. Each section of the book, I really do a deep dive in a fun, sort of easy to understand way. Not a lot of
because this is a YA book.
It is a YA book, and I think the truth is that comic book history can be kind of like, oh my God, there are 79 years, soon to be 80 years.
Yes,
in just a few months, we're kicking off our big 80th anniversary celebration. But there's so many years of comic book history, so it really breaks down how those stories went for those characters, and also the empowering and inspiring lessons that you can learn from these characters. So it's not just like, oh, Mary Jane was Spider-Man's girlfriend. It's like, no, Mary Jane is a CEO.
Yep.
She's a businesswoman. She's brilliant. And she's ambitious. There are all these things that you don't always think about from a character. And it's got just a great universe-spanning, multiverse-spanning cast of characters.
That is a lot to put in a book. So I have to ask you, and this is a hard question for every single one of us, because if someone asked me this question, I wouldn't know the answer either. So I'm going to qualify it. Right now in your life, who is your favorite character?
Oh, well, I think Squirrel Girl is always sort of my heart. I feel like she's the most, she speaks to me on a deeper level. She uses her superpower, which of course are powers of a squirrel and the powers of a girl, but I think her girl powers are actually much stronger in that she is empathetic and kind and smart.
And like the best friend.
And the best friend. Because she sees that most people become villains because they have problems that they don't have a solution for. And so she looks for a solution to the problem. And I think that's such a beautiful lesson about her. Yeah. But it's a constant changing group of people that I love.
So how did you get into comic books? You are old school. This is not, you didn't just walk into comic books. You're honestly one of the most knowledgeable people I know.
Oh, thank you.
About comic books, but also your love of comic books goes deep. Even the way you just explained Doreen and just like, look, no, there's lessons. Like, this is not just pretty pictures.
No, yeah.
But there are pretty pictures. And penciling, there's the core to what comics are. It's like, they are who we are. It's a reflection of stories. So how did you start in the world of comics?
I started small. I was lucky to be part of a nerdy family. My older brother kind of liked comics, and my mom, when she was a kid, liked comics. And so I used to spend summers up at my grandmother's house, and she had this old vault of Disney comics. And that's how I started reading comics. I would read my mom's comics that she had when she was little that were like Donald Duck and whatever. And I was like, these are great. And I ruined these beautiful antique comics. I like just ripped the covers off, shredded the pages. They'd probably be worth money, but not now.
This is what we do as kids.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Oh, I just wrecked everything. So I started really small with that. And then, you know, my parents saw that my brother and I were into it. So they let us go to Comic-Cons and stuff I think I went to my first one at 11.
Wow.
So, you know, I got in early, but it's funny because I've had love for all kinds of different things. Like, for a while, I got really into manga, and I went over to this, and I liked that stuff. And, you know, I'm just lucky that I get to talk about this stuff for a living.
All the time.
You know?
And and this is not your first book project. Like, you've collabed on other book projects. You've done a lot of work. You've actually been advisors on other projects. What has been kind of the common theme on what makes a good superhero in your opinion?
I think good superheroes are flawed. I think the truth is that, like, it's nice to see like this person always does the right thing. Like, no, nobody always does the right thing. People mess up. Yeah. They have to learn, right? And when you see somebody fail and then try, it lets you fail and try again.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the thing that I love. You know, it's like we don't have all the answers. We're all just trying to figure it out. And that's what superheroes are doing too.
Yeah. And I think that's what I particularly love about this amazing image, right? So the book is so great, but also this image is so diverse. It's so reflective of what women, like, it's not a monolith. They're quirky and strong and smart and nerdy. You know, Riri Williams is like a brilliant scientist, and Carol Danvers is a pilot. And, you know, when you look at America Chavez, who literally punches into the sky.
Yeah.
She literally punches stars into the sky. And like Valkyrie, who is a mythological character. It's so diverse and so great. But I think one of the things that I love about this book is that it allows the space that women have already occupied in comics to really be highlighted in a way that makes them more.
I appreciate you pointing that out so much because it was so important to me when I was talking to my editor that I wanted different kinds of women to be represented. And diverse women, but also young women, old women, women who are scientists, women that are business women.
Because Valkyrie is at least like 2,000 years old.
Yeah, Valkyrie is a much older woman. But I have a whole section called about matriarchs that are like badass older women that are important, who are mentors to younger women and taking them in and helping them grow.
Give us an example. Who, like...
So, for instance, Helen Cobb to Captain Marvel. Doreen Green's mom, Maureen Green, the biggest Squirrel Girl fan. She's a super mom. She's Aunt May, the best mom who is not a mom.
Who has been moms to several Spider people.
And she shows up, and she is Spider-Man's morality at the end of the day. He's doing it for Aunt May. Like, she is the one who imparted those values to him in so many ways. And there's so many more, you know. So it was fun to do all of the kinds of women.
What do you think is the most fun thing you learned while doing this particular book?
Ooh, the most fun thing I've learned. Well, gosh, you know, it's funny because it's not even about superheroes. It was honestly about. I really wanted to use these stories again to inspire young people. And women, and to learn lessons. And it was fun to allow myself, you know, sometimes, because you and I, we talk about comics all the time.
All the time.
And sometimes you're kind of like, hey, here's the factual information about this thing. But it was really fun to get to say, no, but here's like what I'm learning from them. Here is the story behind the story. Here's why they're important. This is why it matters.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's really fun to allow myself to say the stuff that I would say in private and to share it with people.